Imagine a time when an entire people were enslaved, their spirits crushed under the weight of forced labor in ancient Egypt. The Israelites, once honored guests, were now a nation in chains, building cities for a merciless Pharaoh. Fearful of their growing numbers, Pharaoh issued a horrific decree. Every newborn Hebrew boy was to be thrown into the Nile. But in this darkness, a flicker of hope emerged. One mother, desperate to save her son, wove a basket of reeds, sealed it with tar, and placed her precious baby inside. She set him adrift on the great river, entrusting his fate to the currents and to God. Miraculously, the basket floated right to where Pharaoh's own daughter was bathing. She found the crying infant, felt compassion, and decided to raise him as her own. She named him Moses. Moses grew up in the opulence of the Egyptian palace, a prince of Egypt, unaware of his true heritage. He was educated in the finest schools, trained in the arts of war and governance. Yet something stirred within him. As a young man, he witnessed the suffering of his people firsthand. One day, he saw an Egyptian overseer brutally beating a Hebrew slave. In a moment of righteous fury, Moses intervened, striking the Egyptian and killing him. The act, born of a deep-seated sense of justice, forced him to flee. He became a fugitive, an exile in the vast empty desert of Midian. He shed his royal robes and became a simple shepherd, thinking his past life was forever behind him. But destiny had other plans. One day, while tending his flock on Mount Horeb, he saw an astonishing sight. A bush engulfed in flames, yet not consumed by the fire. As he drew closer, a voice boomed from the flames. The voice of God. It was a divine calling, a command that would change the course of history. God told Moses that he had been chosen to return to Egypt and free the Israelites from their bondage. Hesitant and humbled, Moses eventually accepted his mission. He returned to the land of his birth, no longer as a prince, but as a prophet. Alongside his brother Aaron, he stood before the mighty Pharaoh, the most powerful man on earth, and delivered God's message. "Let my people go." Pharaoh, arrogant and defiant, laughed. Who was this God that he should obey his voice? So began a terrifying contest of wills. God unleashed a series of devastating plagues upon Egypt, each one more severe than the last. The Nile turned to blood. Frogs swarmed the land, gnats and flies tormented the people. Livestock perished, boils afflicted man and beast, and hail of fire and ice rained from the sky. Locusts devoured every green thing, and a profound darkness, a darkness that could be felt, smothered the land for 3 days. With each plague, Moses repeated his demand, and with each plague, Pharaoh's heart hardened. He would promise to let the people go, only to break his word the moment the plague subsided. The stage was set for one final, devastating blow. This was the climax of God's judgment, the 10th and most terrible plague, the death of the firstborn. God instructed Moses to tell the Israelites to mark their doorposts with the blood of a sacrificial lamb. That night, the angel of death passed through Egypt, taking the firstborn son from every unprotected home, from the highest noble to the lowest servant, even the firstborn of the livestock. But it passed over the homes of the Israelites marked with blood. This event, the Passover, would be remembered for all time. A great cry of anguish rose throughout Egypt, reaching the palace itself. Pharaoh's own son was dead, broken and defeated. Pharaoh finally summoned Moses and begged the Israelites to leave, to take whatever they wanted and go. A frantic exodus began. Hundreds of thousands of men, women and children, carrying their unleavened dough and driving their flocks, streamed out of Egypt, leaving centuries of slavery behind them. But their freedom was not yet secure. As soon as they were gone, Pharaoh's grief turned to rage. He mustered his army, his elite chariots, and pursued them to the edge of the Red Sea. Trapped with the sea before them and the Egyptian army behind, the Israelites cried out in terror. It seemed their escape was doomed. But Moses, holding his staff high, stretched his hand over the sea. A mighty east wind blew all night, and the waters parted, creating a dry path through the heart of the sea. The Israelites walked through on dry ground, with walls of water towering on either side. The Egyptians charged after them into the seabed. Once the last Israelite was safe on the other side, Moses stretched out his hand again. The walls of water collapsed, crashing down upon the entire Egyptian army. Not a single soldier, not a single chariot, survived. The Israelites were truly free. On the far shore, they watched as the waves washed away the last remnants of their oppression. Their journey was just beginning, a long and arduous path through the desert, but they were a free people led by Moses, guided by God, marching towards a promised land. Thank you for watching this incredible story of faith, freedom, and divine power. If you are moved by the journey of Moses and the Israelites, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more epic tales from history. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you next time.